Hello. Yes, Draken's again, not because it's a particularly great spawn, but because it's a great spawn for charm testing, because of how little variety and variance there is in walls, because of how easy it is to hunt there. So, yeah, just 1 hour, 2 30-minute runs to compare. That's the plan. Hello, chatter. Hello, Xarcus. What row did you have without charms? What, at walls? At walls I had like 2.2, I think. Yep, it's gonna be freeze and zap. But yes, yeah, we're gonna be doing charm testing. Hello, everyone. You're making 20% more XP with Justice than with Harmony. Really? Which respawn is that at? This outfit is Lion of War. Yeah, chatter, yes, I know. Yesterday wasn't a good stream. Well, depends what content you like, I suppose. 20% more EXP hunting Grim Reapers with Justice instead of Harmony. I'm very surprised to hear that. I feel like you must be messing up the rotation a lot to have those results. What happened yesterday? Oh, I was invaded and I had hyenas. Yeah, somebody invaded me. And so we spent like an hour chasing him out the spawn. Peak Tibia content. I enjoy Monk the most. It's kind of ironic, but like I really enjoy the Monk playstyle. It's really like tailor-made for me. I used to, when I used to play a lot more EK, if any of you watched my old EK videos, you'll see that I often played like a kiting style EK anyway, even like years ago. And the Monk is basically a kiting EK, so it's like perfect. I really like this kind of play style, and that's how I played the EK. Anyway, commercial to moderated, Twitch should be banned. Well, Arva, commercials are played to moderators, because otherwise you could just moderate everybody, every single one of your viewers, and Twitch wouldn't make any money from your streams. So yeah, you gotta drop that Prime sub, bro, if you don't want any commercials. Just saying. I don't know, Lucas, why you're having more success with Justice than Harmony. Harmony's definitely should be better. Anyway, if you were doing 2.5k with Harmony, then that was pretty low. You should be looking at about 3.5k raw at Grimm's. So yeah, something's going wrong there. He supports the channel enough with his moderation, does not need to subscribe. All right. Guess we best get started. I think we have everything ready. Isn't Grim Reaper a great spawn to compare charms? Yep. Grim Reaper's a good spawn to compare charms. I've already done it. Already got the Grim Reapers results, got some more Hyenas results. Now we're going to get some Draken Walls results. Then definitely planning to some Burster Spectres, also a good spawn to compare charms. Yeah, and then we'll have enough data. The VODs are always available. Big X lover. You just, they're always on YouTube though. YouTube is better for VODs in my opinion. So if you want VODs, I just pasted the link in the chat. All right, less standing around, more EXPing. I do have 21 minutes of boost remaining, but that shouldn't really impact the results in any way. We're just going to use the raw experience gain to compare the EXP gains anyway. Now, we're starting off with freeze and zap, okay? 30 minutes. We're gonna do low blow, savage blow afterwards. Have I tested the Lizard City? I haven't. I don't really see at what level it would be worth it. You want your ranged etc., which you'll knock at level 175. But that level, you really don't want to be hunting here anymore, I think. So, yeah. Oh, god damn it. Yeah. All right. I do need to focus a little bit. So I'll try to pick up some questions between the polls. But if I'm going to make a useful test, I do need to try and play very consistently across the 30 minutes so that those can be used later to decide what's better. Draken surprisingly aren't that easy, by the way, on this level. Yeah, they actually do a fair amount of damage. It shouldn't be too difficult now at 239. But when I came here still on like level 200, I actually had to be kind of careful because they could have comboed me. A couple of times I did reach like proper red health. Yeah, obviously this is not a particularly good spot, but it's pretty good for profit. I think you can make about 500k profit per hour here, so pretty decent. The invisibility is annoying sometimes as well. I really wish Chain Penance would actually target invisible creatures. That would be such a nice bonus. Guess it would be too strong. Follow age. I don't know if I have that command enabled. I'm sorry. Hasn't that been deprecated anyway by one of the bots? Not sure. Has the music stopped? The music stopped, right? Oh, damn it. How do I re-enable it now? I'm trying to re-enable it without missing a beat. What the hell happened? It's logged me out. It's logged me out of Spotify. The hell? I'm gonna have to restart because for some reason my Spotify decided to die. All right, you know what? Let's just kill off this box. We're gonna have to restart. It's not my not been my best couple of days for tests. Something keeps going wrong. What the hell? Spotify just crashed. All right. The hell? It's totally logged me out. All right, let me try sort that out. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry about that. What the hell? Do you think the fist scaling will be buffed and the harmony damage output will be nerfed someday? That is one way to nerf. Well, that seems maybe that's yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like the thing is, the changes they're going to make will be changes to make the early game weaker and late game stronger. Those are the changes they're going to be looking at in the coming days. So if that fits with that, then yeah, I think that's possible. I think they're going to want to improve the scaling, but lower the base damages. So I think they're going to lower the base damage of some abilities, but increase the scaling either from harmony or through fist fighting. So maybe that'll be one way to buff the fist fighting one. We'll see. Hello, Rich. Yeah, all good. Gonna just run a test. Yeah, walls are really fun. Walls are really kind of a fun respawn, even the results aren't that great. Hello, Molten. Who are we invading today? Whoever gets in our way. Let's see if the respawn's back. If we can restart. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can restart, I think. Let me get everything. Not that. All right, let's go. Sorry about the weird Spotify bug. But we're back. What are we testing exactly? Charms. I'm still working on my charms video. Got elemental versus crit, and yeah, it's just another place we want to cover to get some data. I want to test definitely a few different places with different amount of health points for different monsters and different elemental resistances, stuff like that. So we can say if crit charms are better or elementals. My expectation is that for solo hunting, crit charms are going to be better on the monk for a long time. Can't say for sure, but I have a feeling with what I've tested so far that monk is going to scale very nicely with the crit ones. Especially as, people get more skills. Like, the monks are still very low skill. I mean, I only still have like 96 skill, which, is okay for 2-week-old character. But it's not going to be very good for a 2-year character, which, is going to be the case soon enough. By the way, Draken is technically tiny bit better here, but I am using the destruction weapon just because of how much more comfortable it is to hunt here with the destruction weapon. Like I mentioned, or even at level 200, I was still like sometimes a little bit, it was a little bit tough sometimes. I think at this point I could probably switch back to Draken. May as well just test with the destruction weapon. I think at 270, if I had lion claws and I came here, I'd definitely be using the lion claws. What is more fun for you? Monk is always more fun for me. I never enjoyed Paladin all that much. Paladin is just strong. I just never enjoyed using the runes though. I really don't like using runes and items in Tibia. Like, I really don't like the cooldown and delay system in Tibia. It's very, very clunky to me. The way item usage works and missing auto attacks and stuff like that. I don't like it. I think that's a very outdated system that I would have liked changed somehow. Were hyenas? So yesterday we weren't really aiming to test experience, but we're aiming to test some charms. But yeah, were hyenas is actually a really good spot. In my opinion, were hyenas is sort of going to be the go-to spot down the line for like more sort of casual monks. Like, it's good experience, great profit, kind of easy, close to town. So I do expect that monks down the line will be fighting for the were hyenas spawn together with the paladins. So were hyenas south is only going to get even more popular in my opinion. Can you hunt hydras until you drop the newest rare drop? What new rare drop from hydras? What are you talking about? Am I not aware of some new rare drop from hydras? I haven't heard about Hydra gain any new items, so I don't know. I feel like I would have heard about it by now. I'm not convinced. And if it is, it's going to be some garbage leveling item, I think. It's not going to be anything good. Best respawn to get the new amulets. I expect still gold tokens. I'm sure they must drop them. I think barbarians drop them as well. Anyway, I think the collars are pretty cheap, at least on my server, so they must drop a lot from something common. I don't know about the rings. The rings, on the other hand, are very expensive on my server. Were crocodiles. Yeah, they drop a lot of orange plasmas, do they? What's the ice attack? It's the charm. I have freeze charm on one of them, on the War Master. The Monk Eldritch weapon? My feeling is it's kind of bait. It's not going to be any good. If somebody drops one on my server and wants me to do some testing for a video, for example, I'd be very happy to do so. I won't be spending the money to buy it myself, though. Like, the damage reflection is kind of nice, but on... Ah, thank you. Thanks for the raid. On legit rod. Thank you. The Eldritch Monk weapon, I think it's it's possibly kind of bait. Like the damage reflection is very nice on an EK because you reliably get hit by a lot of monsters. The problem with the Monk is it's a kite invocation, and ideally, you know, you don't want to be getting hit by anything. So to make the most out of the Eldritch weapon, you kind of have to play suboptimally and actually basically not play optimally. Thank you for the prime sub, Gular. Thank you. Appreciate it. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but yeah, I think the Monk weapon has potential, but I feel like it doesn't really work very well with the Monk playstyle. Ideally, you'd be getting hit by like one monster per turn, doing that damage reflection, which is like nothing. Alternatively, you know, maybe you want to play the Monk badly for like noobs, you know, who don't want to kite and going to be boxing instead. Yeah, for those kind of people, maybe it'll be a good weapon. But yeah, I don't think so. I mean, he's getting that on Asuras because it's Asura, not because of the Eldritch weapon, dude. Like, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's a good energy weapon because, you know, it's very good for Asura Mirror, not because the Eldritch weapon is that OP, unless he's literally like warboxing and getting loads of procs from that. And anyway, it's not even getting full use at Asuras because Asuras have too little health. So the damage reflection can deal up to, I believe, 1% max health. And that weapon has, what, 52 damage reflection? And Asuras have, what, 2.5, 3,000 health? So they can't even get hit by the damage reflection properly. So I really don't think it's the weapon that's making Asura Mirror good. I think it might just be the spawn. Anyway, we'll be trying the Asura Mirror in due time. But now I just need to focus and make sure we get some reasonable results here. I have to play fairly consistently over 30 minutes. On 400 EK, if you have the Soul Weapon, you should be able to hunt Mirror. I can imagine that it's kind of difficult without the Soul Weapon, but with the Soul Weapon, I don't know. I remember it being pretty trivial. Yeah, when we hit 250, we're going to go Asura Mirror, obviously. Give it a go. But again, it's another one of those places that's going to be best for a very long time. So I'm not going to be going there all the time. It's very boring to me. So we'll go there, we'll test it, we'll pick up a few levels, maybe hunt there 2-3 times. But that'll be enough for me. Soul Weapon for monks? Apparently there's like one for like 350 KK on like a yellow server. So I don't know. I think somewhere between 3 to 400 KK is probably where the price is right now. And I think that's a reasonable price. It's not as much as I was potentially worried it was going to be before the release. So I hope it's going to drop a little bit, but it's probably not going to drop tremendously by the time I hit level 400. So I'm expecting to have to pay like 400 KK for it when it's time. Yeah, I would pay 300 KK for it, yeah. Of course, for Sorka Mask, definitely. What do you mean Paladin used to be a kite invocation? Paladin's still a kite invocation if you know what you're doing and you play efficiently. Of course, if you go somewhere with like 8 monsters per pull, then you don't kite, but majority of Paladins still kite. Good respawns at least. Rune with the raid, thank you very much. Welcome everybody, welcome. Appreciate it, Rune. But yeah, Paladin's still a kite invocation. It's the same exact thing as the monk. Like I can just wallbox if I want to. You know, sure, I can just come here and stand and wallbox, and that's fine. But that's not going to be the optimal playstyle, and it's not the optimal playstyle for a Paladin to be boxing either. Sure, you know, towards the end of the pull after you've been kiting, you know, Rochamore West for the past 20 seconds, you have 8 monsters left, so you kind of stop to finish them off. But it's still like you shouldn't be playing like that all the time. We're testing some charms today. We're doing charm testing, elemental versus crit. So we're doing the elemental test now. 30 minutes, so we've got 18 more minutes. And then we're going to do crit charms, low blow and savage blow, and compare the results. I think duo or monk Knight is going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing some of it on new servers. I expect more people will be doing like proper duos on new servers. I think it's not very popular for the time being. Yeah, ideally you don't get hit. Yeah, ideally. So you basically kite. Obviously, it's impossible not to get hit. And also, I mean, saying ideally you don't get hit is not quite right because you do want to be doing your melee attacks on the monk as well. So you do want to be ideally getting hit by 1 monster per turn, the monster who you're attacking with your melee attack. That's the optimal playstyle. Obviously, that's impossible, and you will be getting hit by more. But, you know, the EK gets hit by 8 monsters per turn, more or less, on average, and that's not never going to be the case for the monks. So, I mean, like I say, I'm very happy to try and evaluate the Eldritch weapon. If I loot it, or someone lets me test it, you know, I'm happy to run some tests, right? Come to walls again, once with Eldritch Weapon and once with Lion Claw. Compare the results. Maybe it's great. Happy to do the test and see. I think it's not going to be that crazy. I think the power of Asura Mirror is what's making Asura Mirror results good, not the Eldritch Weapon. Well, the calculating average damage is not going to help you look at the supplies, for example, and how much you save on supplies from using low blow or savage blow. Just as a little counterpoint. It's also a consideration. I think it's better than Grim Reapers, dude. Obviously not. It's like half the experience of Grim Reapers. Oh, dude. So here's the follow-up question. Let me read your mind and answer your follow-up question. Why are you not hunting Grim Reapers then? Because I don't like hunting the same spot over and over. And I've hunted enough Grim Reapers, and I'd rather do some testing, do some bestiary, ideally do some tasks, which I'm now realizing I forgot to pick up the task for Drakens. Never mind. But yeah, I'm not going to be hunting Grim Reapers for the next God knows how long. Yes, Drakens are twice the fun. This is peak Tibia. This was released in 2010 around, and Tibia has not come close to this level of spawn design since. Tibia peaked with Draken walls. This is what peak performance looks like. We may never see such a good respawn again. Azilon walls, it's close. I think there may be something to do with, you know, the word walls. Maybe that makes Tipsoft design the spawns nicely. Wrath of the Emperor 8, I would agree, if not for the drunkenness. I hate having to use a Dwarven Ring. But yes, and it's also, I don't know, dude, it's a clunky respawn. You have to be going up and down, like there's no way to do a proper pull, proper lap. You have to be going like weird little circles, going up and down floors. I don't know. I don't love Wrath of the Emperor very much. It's certainly a classic cult respawn, but I don't know that it's designed all that well or that enjoyable to hunt. If I had to hunt, which spot would I hunt forever and ever? I really enjoy my time hunting Summer Court on the EK. Very comfy for me and enjoyable. Definitely up there. I do like walls. I like Buried Cathedral as well, quite a lot. I'm really looking forward to being able to hunt Buried Cathedral solo on this guy. What level that's going to be, we'll have to see. Skill potion. Thank you. Bobber. I think we're going to give Buried Cathedral a go around level 300-ish. But I think it's going to be too hard. I think around 400, you'll definitely be able to hunt it solo. I was slapping it around on test server of level 400. So maybe like 350 or so. $19 minutes. Okay, 11 more minutes. How are we looking with experience? 2.37 raw. Yeah, not bad. It's better than when I tested it originally that time. I was doing like 2kk raw here when we tested it that first time a week or so ago at this point. So yeah, definitely better than before. I've gotten a bit better at the spawn, I think, as well. Been hunting a bit more. And the profit's pretty good. Looking at 600k per hour at the moment. And I haven't even looted a single Ring of the Sky, which is like a bulk of the profit here. So yeah, I think 600 to 700k profit here on a level 200 monk. Seems legit. Summer elves. What level on monk? Technically from 250 is like a consideration once you get the Cobra bow. I do think it'll be too difficult though. I think 300 with full best in slot. So if I get my hands on the Demon Mengu, the mutant legs, which I already have. Actually, I do have the mutant legs now. You know, Nagatanko with the built-in fire protection. I think maybe 300 probably would be doable for some effort. I'd be open to trying it then. I think it would be hard still at 300 because there's also not a ton of room in Summer Court to kite. I think Winter Court is going to be easier because it's got more kiting room. I think Winter Court at 300, definitely. Sumiko, maybe. Definitely willing to try, but less optimistic about Sumiko at 300. Bye-bye, Adva. Don't yell. Oh. Let's hope I don't die then. How's Monk Summon? Can you use it while hunting? I can. I'm not gonna because right now we're doing charm testing, so I don't want to disrupt that with the Monk Summon. If you mean in general, if you can use it, I don't think so. I think it just gets in the way and makes things worse rather than better. So no, I do not expect anybody will be using the Monk Summon to actually legitimately hunt. There may be some like niche cases, like for example, I remember when Warzone 8 was very good. People would use the Monk familiar there because like there was only like 2 or 3 monsters and it actually kind of helped with the ice damage. So, you know, there may be like some weird niche case like that for the Monk. But in general, I wouldn't think so. If you like using familiars, then I guess level 200 to level 300 Paladin is just about the only the only reasonable level and vocation range where you can use the familiar. At what level can I hunt efficient in Nagas by EK with skill 117? I think when I originally made the guide, I made it for level 500 of Nagas, so definitely that. I mean, with all the power that we've got and items since then, if you have like full best in slot, I think you could do it on 400 with like spirit thorns and stuff. I see no reason why not, and with like all the best gear. Yeah, the power creep in this game is real. Now we've had the first ring of the skies. And now the profit's back. Oh, it's back to 600k per hour. I guess we didn't drop anything else in the past couple minutes. $23 minutes. Ooh, 2.4k raw. We're picking up the experience actually. 2.4k raw. Obviously nothing compared to Grim Reapers and the like, but actually not terrible. Not terrible anymore. Like 2k raw is terrible at this level, but 2.4 is kind of like, yeah, okay. You know? I'll take it. It's acceptable. When do you reckon to make a profit hunt with a shitty... Where? Shitty equipment, RP level 500 profit? I mean, if you know what you're doing with shitty equipment, you can hunt a lot of places on a 500 Paladin. I don't know, dude. From the top of my head, I don't know. Just check on... I would honestly just look for Tibia Power for general suggestions. Look for places like 400 plus, like 300 plus, and whatever has like the highest profit in there. I don't remember now. I honestly don't remember. Like lower Roshamo even with like really garbage equipment should be okay, but I still think you'll probably overkill that at that level. Maripur Turtles, probably Maripur Turtles, yeah. That's probably still best. And that should be really trivial on a 500 Paladin. Five more minutes for this test. 3 minutes. I really wish I picked up that task though. I'm gonna do like the whole task here. Never mind. Hello. Hello, Ape. Thanks very much. Hello. Yeah, so we keep maintaining that 300k per 30 minutes, by the way. So yeah, the profit here is about 600k per hour already on this level. And this is without the crit charms. Theoretically, crit charms should also improve the profit due to the lower supply usage, due to more leech from the crits. So probably going to be even a little bit better for profit, although that obviously depends on how lucky we actually get with the loot. In a 30-minute window, there's a lot of chance involved. Is ascetic the best wheel skill to get? Once you get the wheel, if you want to be serious about the monk and really learn how to play, you want to go for the spiritual outburst and use that with focus harmony efficiently. That's your go-to PG setup. Not because the tier 1 outburst is particularly good, but because getting that double spender setup every 2 minutes with focus harmony is really strong. But it's, you know, it's kind of it's a little bit demanding. It's not the easiest thing to do. I expect a lot of people will mess it up, so you do need to invest a little bit of time to actually master it. We've got 30 minutes. Let's see what we can push still within the 30-minute screenshot. We can definitely kill those guys at least. Probably another pull maybe. I got a screenshot now. Monk stronger than Royal Paladin at low levels, of course. At higher levels, no. The meeting point is probably somewhere around... You know what we're going to do? We're just going to kill off this pull, and then we'll take a screenshot because I don't want to kill the next room, because that's going to be the perfect point to restart the lab. Here we go. All right, we'll take this as the screenshot. 301k profit, 2.4kk raw. All right, we got the result. We got the first 30 minutes of the elemental charms. So let's just quickly switch it around. Switcheroo. Do we have enough supplies? How much supplies did we use? 723 mana potions. We have 411 left. We actually gonna have to refill real quick then. But thankfully, we can just use the NPC here. So that should be simple enough. Anyway, let's assign the charms. War Master on low blow. Pale Weaver on the savage blow. And we'll see how that goes. Does anyone know if female heals or raid puffs after some time? I don't know. Sorry, never actually bothered with that raid. Will the room? Let's see. Will it really? Oh shit! All right, hang on. Let's kill these off so we don't lose stamina later on. All right. Thanks for the monk vid. Super instructive. Quick question. On level range 50 to 70, what to do? Well, that is the suckiest little range for the monk, unfortunately. It's really quite tricky. Not very fun. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, what I hear water elementals are good. You know, roaring lions are good. Ancient scarabs, I think, huntable as well. I think from 60 you can even do some early frost dragons. You know, there's a few options, but it's not a good range. Okay, it's unfortunately not a fun range. So we've used up 741. Now we're gonna have the charms, so we're probably gonna use it for even less. Let's go for 500 more. That we have enough, should have enough capacity. Yeah, even we can pick up another 50 just to be safe. All right. How far into the quest line do you need to go to use the NPC? I guess what? Well, I have walls access. I've literally just unlocked walls access and nothing else. So if you have walls access, you have access to this NPC, and I don't really see why else you would need this NPC until walls. So you're all right. Gaze the specters, yeah, 50 to 70. I hear gaze the specters are pretty good, especially if someone boosting you. You can do that in about 15 minutes. That whole level range. All right, that's +1 dist or +1 damage per healing from a gem on the wheel. Pretty sure the +1 damage is better. I don't, you know, I don't actually know, but I don't. How much does +1 dist give you on average? Actually, chat it. I don't know. You should join my Discord. Mazarin's in there. He knows like everything about paladins, and he would happily answer that question, I'm sure. But I don't know. Had a major ad block for like 2 minutes. Thank you, Ambition. The streamer's got to get paid. I didn't play them, but you know, Twitch also needs to pay for the servers. Did you reply how far we need to go into the quest line to get access to the NPC at walls? I'm pretty sure it's around the time you unlock walls. I have only access to walls. I don't have Wrath of the Emperor completed. I'm literally on the mission where you have to kill the monsters in the Lizard City. So it's not any further than that because I have access to him. So it's pretty early on in the quest, I think. But if you have walls access, you do have access to the NPC, basically. And that's I guess that's all you really care about. All right, charms. Yep, charms. Now we're doing the critical crit charm test. 30 minutes. Hopefully no interruptions. Let's go. After we're done, I'm going to pull up some quality paint skills and compare the results. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for graphic designer Kusnier with his paint skills. Oh, 2.3k. That was in fact, just then was my all-time highest hit. Savage blow crit into the Spellweavers for 2,390. Almost one shot. Well, didn't quite one shot them, but like half shot them. Looking just for XP at this level, the Alahar Grim Reapers is better. All right, yeah, absolutely. If you're looking for XP, the Alahar Grim Reapers is gonna be the best spot until Mirror. $2615 best hit, very nice. Was that with damage spray as well? Or just like some insane crit with some elemental weakness or something? That is pretty insane. I can't join your Discord. There's no verification bot or it's not working. Have you selected the roles? At which point is it failing? Is the link not working? I'm pretty sure the link is working. And when you join, you need to go into the server roles and click on what roles you want. I don't know if that's the problem. I mean, there's like 3,000 people there. No one's had a problem to join before. Maybe there's just Discord issue right now. Yes, we're going to be doing some paint graphic design lessons with Kusnier after this test to compare the results. Oh my god, the Savage Blow sweep and takedown crits and the Spellweavers are so insane. They're like almost getting one shot, dude. That's beautiful. I've still only opened 2 gems, by the way, because there's still like 700k buy offers on Nevia. Like, people have lost their damn minds. The gems are nice. They're not that nice, dude. So I'm just refusing to participate in the stupid market for gems at the moment. I've left my 150k buy offers on, and that's how much I'm willing to pay for the lesser gems. If it's gonna take me 2 months before I get some, then I'm gonna wait. I'm not paying 700k for a damn lesser gem, then still needing to gamble like 30 or however many to open them. No, thank you. Oh yeah, of course I'm wasting loads playing the monk at the moment. Mostly because, you know, I'm using boosts and stuff, so obviously it doesn't pay for itself. If I wasn't using boosts, then, you know, I'm starting to make some good profits on like Benuta and stuff, like 500-600k per hour. But, you know, I'm not playing this vocation to make a profit. Not for now, at the very least. Probably not ever. But it's but, you know, to answer a more general question, I do think the monk will be an absolutely excellent profit-making vocation. So if you do care about profit, then yeah, I think monk will be one of your better choices because of the cheap supply costs and the high natural leech. I do already feel like I'm using fewer supplies. I think the crit stuff is working. I feel like I don't need to be using as many potions. So we're definitely going to be seeing fewer supplies used, I'd say. Obviously, that makes sense and is expected. It'll be interesting to see how much we do save by using the crit charms. We'll see. We'll see if it ends up being that way. But yeah, I can tell that I'm using... I need to use a lot fewer supplies. For sure. Although I may have overdone it with this pull. Alright. I may have been a little bit too big. Boosted abos. I don't actually have the quest yet to go to abos. I suppose it's very short from here. I could do it. Well, no, to be honest, I don't think so. Anyway, it's all like taken on Nevia, so, you know. Although I'm hoping that maybe today somebody will claim the Shield of Corruption bounty for the monk, looting a Shield of Corruption as a monk for extra 100 Tibi coins. Now is the day. Today is the day. The monk attack spells don't waste mana. Monk attack spells don't waste mana. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Obviously, the spells have a mana cost, but basic attacks don't waste mana. No, I'm very confused about that question. Yes, spells cost mana. Maybe it looks like they're not costing much mana because I'm leeching so much. Maybe that's where the question comes from. Whereas the damage I leech is more than the mana cost, perhaps. Yeah. When is next rapid respawn? I expect in early June. I expect June. We had the exaltation in April, right? So experience in May, and rapid in June, experience in July, exaltation in August. I think that's probably how it's going to be going now. It's going to be 6 doubles per year, 3 exaltations, 3 rapids. I think loot is gone. Rest in peace. In my opinion, it will not be missed. It was like the least interesting event for me. I never hunted for profit, so I don't really care for it. I know some people liked it. A lot of Tibians do like to make the profit. Wasn't for me though. But I certainly don't miss it. Not that the exaltation event is all that fun. I think it's more fun than the loot event for me. Rapid's still the best, obviously. In between, 'cause it's more divine. I can't reconcile this feeling, 'cause I remember when you had to the sweep and takedown fully charged crits with Savage Blow are so insane on the Spellweavers. It's probably a bit hard for you guys to see it in detail, but I can see where every time the crit goes off, it's like 2,500 and like drop the spell weave almost to 0. It's pretty insane. How the monk can do GT or other boss don't look like a shooter. Yeah, it's basically a shooter. Just, I mean, multiple EKs do bosses together the same way, right? One EK, there's a designated EK doing the blocking and using the etc. And then the other EK just deals damage. That's exactly how the monk's going to be doing bosses, right? It's just kind of like a secondary EK, just standing next to the boss DPSing. In some bosses, that's going to be a little bit awkward, right? I like the one with like the water elementals and fire elementals, right? The Great Danger one. It's probably a little bit awkward with 2 melee characters, but I'm sure it can be figured out. It's in bosses it'll be more like a knight. It's gonna be in short range. It's not going to be like an EK in bosses, unfortunately. It's basically like a secondary EK. He's got melee abilities and wants to be using his melee auto attack as well. Obviously, there's a lot of power in that. They definitely wants to be in melee range. Which, yeah, will probably be somewhat problematic for a handful of bosses, but tough. Bro, most bosses in the game are currently like trivialized. I mean, nobody cares about the difficulty of Grave Danger bosses. Okay, monks will be fine there. If there's like some awkward mechanics in like real end game bosses like Bakrigor or whatever, where being melee sucks, I don't really know much about those bosses. Yeah, that's when the monk may not be necessary and may struggle to get a team. But nobody's gonna give a shit that you're a monk. And it's not because of that they won't take you to do the Tamira, Oberon, and gold tokens and silver tokens run. Like, it doesn't matter. Those bosses are trivial, and no one cares. And the monk does so much damage that he's going to be wanted anyway. Yeah, some of the mechanics are going to be a little bit more awkward or whatever, but it doesn't matter, dude. It's not for bosses like that. Will you do solo Oberon access at 250? Probably not. Not that I don't think you could. I think it's almost no problem to do it. I just don't really see... I'm not going to be doing the boss anyway, so I don't really want to waste my time doing the access. I'll do the access when I want to hunt Falcons, which will be no later than level 400. Because at level 400, once I get my Soul Mass, I'll be hunting a lot of Falcons, because that respawn is going to be very, very good for the monk. Not sure if I'll be bothering with the access before that. It's just a time investment that I could otherwise, you know, actually hunt. Yeah, falcons can get annoying with people running to Oberon, yeah, absolutely. I would not hunt falcons with like a boosted Oberon, by the way. It's absolute hell. Would not recommend. It's not too bad, to be honest. I don't know. It is a little bit annoying, but generally speaking, you know, people don't like kill your spawn and stuff. I have had a person like run through and loot my corpses, which I told them off after that, and got a warning on Tibia.com for using some inappropriate words, but worth it. Do you prefer to play without auto aim? For now, yes. I tried it, and it does take a fair amount of control away from you. And if you really like hunting intensely, it's kind of hard to always keep in mind like which thing you have to target to fire it in the right way. My mind is not fully made up yet on the auto aim. You know, I think it does have its uses. And I still reserve the right to switch back to it. But I think I will probably be not using it. I think I probably won't be using it in the end. Good feature though. Whoever thought of it, a real genius, but I won't be using it myself. Are we out of respawn here? Should be 4. Interesting. Maybe they just ran off a bit. Yeah, Monk with Savage Blow and Low Blow is like ridiculous. Thank you for the raid. Sexion. Thank you. Welcome everybody. We are doing charm testing. We are comparing elementals versus crit charms. We've done 30 minutes with Zap and Freeze. And now we are doing 30 minutes with Low Blow, Savage Blow. So we've got 10 more minutes, and then we're going to compare the results. We can already tell that we're using a lot less supplies with the crit setup, as expected. My videos are helpful. Great, thank you. That's the idea. Good to hear. Well, you will definitely be using a Greater Flurry of Blows over Chained Penance when the cooldown is fixed, though, Ambition. Like, it's definitely stronger. It's just that it's still broken, right? I can't believe they're taking so long. I'm sure they're gonna fix it tomorrow, right? Greater Flurry of Blows fixed tomorrow. Or we go cry in the forums for a change. No, it's not supposed to be that long. It's supposed to be used once per rotation. Like, they've added this convoluted mechanic with like cooldown reduction, and it's so convoluted they bloody broke the code, and it doesn't work. So yeah. But yes, the idea is that you should be able to use Greater Flurry of Blows once per rotation. So you should be using Greater Flurry of Blows, followed by 3 builders, then the spender, and then again, once you cast the spender, you should be able to cast Greater Flurry of Blows again. That's how they designed it, but then they fucked up the implementation. No boost. No, I'm not going to be boosting in Draken walls, bro. This evening I'll probably go for like a proper hunt somewhere. I don't know where. Somewhere with better experience, hopefully. And I'll probably boost then a couple of times. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream it though. I don't think I want to be doing 2 streams a day. So if I manage to do a stream in the day, like I have today, then I'll probably skip the evening stream and maybe just test some stuff offline, or rather off stream. Yeah, the muscle memory. Yeah, well, the thing is that I've kind of purposefully not been worried about the rotation too much. I've not been trying to optimize this 16-second cooldown of Creative Flurry of Blows. I'm almost just not using it altogether, to be honest. I just use it sometimes when I remember about it. But you know, once they fix their cooldown, I will actually start using the proper rotation. And I think their muscle memory will be back very quickly. Were Tiger's a good 2 of an Earth weapon? Oh yeah, absolutely. Were Tiger's going to be pretty good. I need to think about which level I want to go there. I think 300, probably. Which means I kind of need to get started on the stupid Grimvale quest, because I still don't have any of it. And it's quite a long one with the night and day cycles and this kind of bullshit. So I guess I have to start taking a look at it. I also need it for Well Lions hunting, which I also obviously want to try. Oh god, questing in Tibia, man. Can't wait. The 2 quests that I have on my to-do list, like soon, is Grimvale for Were Lions and Oskayat access, and Dark Trails for Fury Oromond access. Both of those places, well, all those places are going to be pretty damn good for the monk. Especially the Fury Oromond. I think that one's going to be peak. So yeah, definitely want to get access to that so I can go there around like 270, maybe 300. I have 300 Oromond points, so I have the points required. You only actually need 50 for that one, but I have the 300 at least for the shortcut and stuff. Oh. Yeah, Fury's going to be really good. How did you farm your points? I paid for probing task, so it took like 20 minutes. So someone prepared like 300 probes for me, and I clicked for 20 minutes straight on one SQM, and then I had 300 points. I paid 500 Tibia coins for such a privilege, but considering that saved me like more like 3-4 hours of like utter pain, you know, good deal for me. And mages go Fury Oromond at level 270. I don't think Fury Oromond is a particularly good respawn for mages. Unfortunately, I think with the run inspectors and nightmares, not very fun. I don't even know if it's going to be that fun for a monk with both the monsters running away. You can only put Fatal Hold on one of them. So we'll see. I think it'll be fine. But the thing is, the monk does so much damage that, you know, the specters, like, you won't even get a chance to run away. You'll just slap them with a crit from sweep and takedown, and they probably just get one shot. You don't really care too much about them running away, but, you know, mages are kind of cringe, so they don't get that much damage. I don't know. I don't think Fury Oromond is that good for a mage. How much did you buy the armor for? The one I'm wearing? 100 major tokens. So 100k maybe. It's not very much. Tokens aren't very expensive. On Nevia at least. I'm looking to buy a Nagatanko. If anybody on Nevia has one, you know, hit me up. I'm not paying 75k, which is the current only one sell offer on Nevia, which is just embarrassing for whoever listed that. At least it makes me happy that they're going to waste the listing fee, because nobody's paying 75k for a goddamn Nagatanko. But you know, good luck to that person. What's the weapon you're using? It's the new destruction weapon. It's a new destruction weapon. Level 200 for 50 gold tokens. We made it tier 2 because I figured we'll be using it for a little while and it's easily accessible. I only paid, I managed to fuse it like first time with everything, nothing failed. So, you know, it wasn't too expensive. I think grand total, I paid 17kk for everything, for the gold tokens and for the forge. So yeah, you know, it's not too bad. 56kk for a Nagatanko. What are you talking about? Whoever paid for that? Nah, dude, it's not worth it. I'll be rocking my dwarven armor if I have to. Not paying that much for a Nagatanko. Like 10-15kk is, you know, probably the price point. 75kk is like 500% more. Nah, I'm not that desperate. Buried solo at 250 with Eldritch energy weapon. You're not going to be using energy weapon at Buried Cathedral because Arachnophobicas have a 50% energy damage reduction. You want to be using Earth at Buried. You can probably get away with using energy if you're team hunting, but I don't think you can do that solo. I don't think you're going to be efficient enough in killing the Arachnophobicas. Price for Nagakata, next to nothing, bro. It's far worse than the Cobra Bow. So I think the Nagakata will end up being like 5kk. You know, maybe a tiny bit more now just because it's new. But it's not gonna be a popular item. It may even end up being like forge fodder, to be honest. So if you've looted it and you've got a buyer, I recommend you sell it. Cobra Bow is better than Nagakata, indeed. A lot better. At 29 minutes in, probably be able to do a couple more pulls, which kind of looks similar. We were able to go get this far in the previous pull, so I guess the experience is going to be very similar. Because this isn't 30 minutes, so it feels like we may be like 10 seconds behind. That could just be because I played a bit worse in this 30 minutes loop. Okay, got a screenshot. If we can kill a couple more. I think we killed those two as well in the previous screenshots, and that would be the exact same if we managed to do this one. Yeah, bam. Okay, all right. Test done then, I guess. Let's see what time is it. 15:50. So I have another 35 to 40 minutes to play. I guess we've had enough walls, right, guys? Maybe we'll go like Deeper Benuta for a little refill or something. How's that sound? Do some more tasks. We're gonna first let me get back to the town, and we're gonna whip up some paint to compare the results. But like just based on the fact that we finished the 30-minute test in the exact same spot, does probably mean that the experience is basically the same as it was in Were Hyenas and as it was in Grim Reapers, but it's the supplies that are much lower, hence the profit is better. That seems to be the current trend with Low Blow, Savage Blow, and it's basically just easier while using Low Blow and Savage Blow because you heal a lot more. Best place so far for EXP, Grims, yeah, of course. Grim Reapers. Definitely, at least until Mirror, it's gonna be Grim Reapers for EXP. Am I using veggie casserole? Nope. No more on the market. Nice, get rid of it. No more on the market. You know, on Nevia, or at least there weren't any when I last looked. Identical profit. Yeah, identical profit. That's probably because I used a little bit less loot. I looted actually a little bit less. The profit is irrelevant anyway. The profit is, you know, in a 30-minute hunt, you can just basically just disregard the balance and the loot, because just look at the experience, because the overall average loot is the function of the average experience. So if the experience was the same, then the loot is basically the same, right? You don't really care about what you actually dropped in a 30-minute hunt. But yeah, for both of those hunts, we did end up having about 300k per hour. So, you know, pretty easy to say that the profit at Walls for a level 200 also Monk is around 600k per hour. It's pretty great. How do you get the helmet that I have right now? This is Dark Vision Bandana. I believe it dropped from the Nightmare Beast, which is final of the Dream Courts quest. Where do you think is best for EXP for level 70? Probably Carlin Cults, Frost Dragons. I think apparently Dragon Lord's Pits of Inferno, pretty good as well. Edron Hero is probably a little bit too difficult at level 70. But yeah, places like that. Kind of like what an EK at level 90 would hunt. You know, maybe Nightmare Krylos, this kind of stuff. All right. Let me whip up Paint. All right, hang on. Let me see how I can add this to the window capture. Paint. Go. What's my favorite monk item? One for profit, two visually. Oh god. I don't know. I do like the Nunchaku of Destruction, actually. They do look pretty cool. I do like the Destruction weapon. I think it looks pretty cool. How's that Soul Mask? Oh, I like the amber thingy. The what is it? This thing is very cool looking. This amber Kusarigama, whatever that is. Very cool looking item. And I just realized you can't see it because I've got Paint open. This item here, amber. I think that looks very cool. That looks very, very cool. I haven't been playing the monk enough to have like favorite items though. All right, let me pull up the screenshots. I think this is the. Here we go. Here's one result. That's the result. As the first result. From the elementals. And here we have the second result from the crits. There you go. So those are the, as I mentioned, like the experience is basically identical. Like that's not something to really look into, right? You've got the raw, yeah. So the things that when you analyze results, the only two things you really care about is the raw experience gain and the supplies. Those are the only two metrics we're really looking at, because it's not, you know, the balance is too variable depending on how much loot you got. So the experience is the same, but we use 60k supplies less in a 30-minute hunt. So yeah, obviously the crit charms are better for this spot, and you can on average expect about 100k profit per hour more from using the crit charms. I think that's a lot. 100k per hour is a lot just to save on supplies due to using crit charms, right? Is there any chance to have profit and raw above 2kk on level 180 paladin? No, I don't think so. There's only like 2 spawns where you can even make that experience, so no. And those are like Barklers and Lava Lurkers, so no, you're not going to get profit then. Profit on Paladin starts at like where Hyenas. That's almost the imbuement cost. 60k. Well, 60k. Well, I mean, 60k is like 2 imbuements, isn't it? 3 imbuements, maybe. Like 120k per hour. Yeah. Okay, yeah. If you look at it that way, yeah, for the whole hour, yeah. If you save 120k, that's like all of the imbuements, yeah, for the whole hour, just based on using different charms. Yeah, this is significant. This is like the first place where the difference was so high when I tried Grim Reapers and War Hyenas. The supplies cost difference per hour was more like 30k, but here we're looking at like quite a big difference. You think Falcon Size is a good weapon? Yes. I think it's the best physical weapon in the game right now for the monk. Yes, I think it's good. I would like to get it. That's my buy offer there for 15kk. Anyway, yeah, just to finish off this topic then, I guess. Yeah, so those are the results. Experience, you know, there's too little in it to even say there's like a difference. I mean, there's 5k raw difference, which is like a fraction of a percent, so irrelevant. But the supplies is significant enough that, you know, you can definitely tell that that's due to the charms. Yeah, cool. That's good to know. And by the way, the balance, it's actually quite interesting how close the balance is. And look how close the balance is. It's like 100, like less than 200 gold difference. It's interesting. But yes, it's the Savage Blow and Low Blow main negatives is that one, that it costs so many charm points in the first place, but also the secondary issue of that is that you get fewer minor charm points, which are actually really nice to have as well. So yeah. Right, let me save this screenshot. Somewhere. World comparison. And let's close it. And we have about 30 minutes to hunt still. Let's just figure out where else we're gonna go. Maybe Medusa Tower if it's available. Quite like hunting there. Maybe Benuta. Because I want to do my bestiaries. I still have some Eternal Guardians missing. I still need 218 of those. And still need like 900 Medusas, so... Ooh, this reminds me, I can actually stick Fatal Hold now on Medusa. That's good. There we go. Alright, we're gonna go to Medusa Tower if it's open, because it's closer. If it's available. If it's not available, then we're gonna go to Benuta and find a respawn on Benuta. How much does Monk gain mana and HP per level? 1010. And 25 capacity. Thank you, chatter. Is Hive open on Nevi? It is. And I actually already recorded Hive Stage 3 video. And it's actually really good as well. Really good profit, that is. XP is kind of but yeah. Could do those bestiaries as well. Can you put minor charms on mobs that aren't fully unlocked yet? Yes, as long as you have them on stage 2. Basically like 1,000 out of 2,500 for hard mobs. And like 500 out of 1,000. And look at this. I have 21 points in Grizzly Adams, and I get my shortcuts to Benuta, Chor, or the Mountain Pass. Pog. Very pog. This is kind of the only thing I really cared about, having the shortcut to Asura Palace. Ah, very nice. Poggers. What is this outfit called? Lion of War. I have it from tournaments, but you can get it through Drome Arena these days. I think monks have the worst time of all doing demon tasks. Yeah, didn't think about it, but yeah, you're right. Yep, demon tasks not gonna be very nice on the monk. Doubt I'll ever do it, to be honest. In fact, I've never in my life completed the demon task on any vocation because I don't like hunting demons all that much. There's no real great respawns for it. Looks like it's maybe free. Let's just stick a letter down. Just for 30 minutes, just to finish off the stream, do something else. And if it's free, we're gonna stick freeze on behemoths. We're probably not going back to Draken, so I can get rid of this. Stick this on serpent spawn. And I guess savage blow maybe on. Actually, we don't need this. There's no hydras here. Oh god. How much you paid for foot wraps? You know, I don't remember. People keep asking this. I don't remember. I don't think it was like a crazy amount. 15k maybe. I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm sorry. I don't remember. But yeah, I think I remember saying it was 400 TC, so I guess it would have been like, yeah, 15kk. Apparently, Chikavi remembers better than me. Maybe I bought it from him. I don't know. Would you mind showing how you got your backpack set up, how it's organized? Oh, you mean as like a video? I don't know. Like, you can just... I can send you a screen... I can send you a screenshot. Like, proper in-game screenshot. Unedited OBS footage if you want. If you message me on Discord and you ask me for it, I'll be happy to just send you a screenshot and you can use that to figure it out. I don't really think I'm going to be making a guide on how to organize your backpacks though. It seems like a very personal choice. I even feel weird making videos on like hotkey guides. It's kind of like kind of personal. But yet people keep wanting guides on like how to set up your hotkeys, which is so strange to me. Because it really should be like how you feel comfortable with your hands and stuff. How much did you pay for the mutant hide trousers? 30kk, which I guess in Bitcoin terms is a lot. I don't know, 700, 800 Bitcoins, I guess. 750 on Nevia. I really wanted them though. I feel like there's not... Monster was boosted yesterday. It was yesterday, right? Somebody dropped them and I was like, I don't feel like there's going to be very many pairs available. It's not a boss that's like super hunted. So yeah, I just really wanted to get them. I think they're really good. I really want them. So yeah. I don't think that's like a crazy price, to be honest. They're probably going to be pretty damn good for a long time. They basically best in slot until the Sanguine trousers. But kind of in an awkward place here. There we go, that's better. Bone fiddle, bro. Yep. Thanks. How to sit when playing Tibia. Yeah. One day. That's how it feels sometimes. I do get a lot of like really bizarre questions sometimes. Like, it's so basic. It is what it is. Creates a life. Yeah, it is 50. So it is high, but that's because the monk, you know, the monk shouldn't be boxing. If the monk is boxing 8 creatures, is doing something wrong. So if the numbers weren't pretty much boosted, like busted, kind of garbage. I still don't think it's even that good anyway, but I hope somebody loots it on Nevia and lets me test it, because I'd be up for testing it, but I don't feel confident enough in the power of it to buy it, because I think it's going to be expensive, just because all the Eldritch items are super expensive anyway, because they're so hard to loot. The thing about the elemental weaknesses, though, Mile, is you're not going to be hunting anything that is weak to your elementals anyway, right? If something's strong against earth and energy, just not going there, so it doesn't really matter. You're only hunting spawns that you can hunt anyway. I don't know. Like, it's interesting. The item is interesting. Like, it could be way better than I'm anticipating. Like, I'm ready to eat my hat if the Eldritch weapon is actually really good. Yeah, I just needed to get my hands on it. Like, that is a type of stat that you really just need to test. It's really hard to evaluate it just based on the number without actually going to a place and comparing the results. What is the recommended level for Medusa Tower? 200, I think. I came here at 200. It was fine. I feel like you want the destruction weapon to start with. It's not the best weapon here. You would rather be using probably the energy weapon, but it is kind of hard at level 200 still. So it's nice to come here at level 200 with the destruction weapon, with those 3 imbue slots to make it a bit easier. And then, you know, once you out level this spawn, well, first of all, you probably stop coming here. But if you come here at a higher level, then you can just use the energy weapon like Lion Claws or something. It's a nice little spot though, definitely for tasks and stuff. I think I'm almost overkilling the respawn a little bit. I feel like at this level now, even doing this floor. But you know, I do want to do the tasks. Hello, Emrys Keck. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. It's just a shame that my my life situation does not allow me to do too much streaming. You know, with a full-time job and kids, it's kind of rough to get like proper time slots in to do like big streams. But, you know, it is what it is. I do my best. There will be a window in early May when my kids are with the grandparents, so they'll be away for a few days, and I took that time off work. So yeah, the week after the double experience weekend, from the Monday until the Friday, we'll be having some big streams. I'll be online with no kids for like for the whole day. So yeah, definitely some good streams then coming up. Until then, we'll just do like regular daily couple of hour streams. But yes, I'm looking forward to that week in May. We'll be able to do some nice streams then. Does 2 times EXP weekend work for fist fighting? Why would it not work for fist fighting, bro? That's what Sipsop's gonna make money on. Of course it's gonna work. That would be kind of cruel if it didn't work for monks for like no apparent reason. 1 week solid burster specters. Well, what level will we be then? Yeah, we'll probably be doing some burster specters, and I expect to be about level maybe 300-ish then. So maybe some Oromon Furies at that point. We'll see. Definitely not going to be doing a marathon of one spot though. I hope those of you who watch me have heard me say enough times that I don't like hunting the same spot over and over. So we'll probably be doing something like, well, there's only 3.5 hours of stamina in a day. So actually that week we'll probably go back a little bit to playing that free-to-play monk that I had going during the week. the launch week of the Monk because I had more time to play then because I took time off work. So we're probably back to doing some of that as well. But on this guy, we'll probably hunting like some Fury Oromon, some Burster Spectres, stuff like that. Hey, Redmiso, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everyone. But we won't be hunting the same spawn for 3 hours every single day, for sure. Yeah, probably some Mirror as well. Maybe like some War Zones, you know, at that level. Depends what level we hit, right? If we hit 300, that opens up probably a fair few places at that point. Is EK plus Monk or RP plus Monk better? Dude, it's way too early to answer something like that. Come on. Come back here in like 6 months and ask that question, and maybe there will be like a reasonable answer. But at the moment, barely anyone's even playing any proper duos and stuff, so there's literally no data on that. Both of those I think are going to be fine, but which one's going to be better? Don't know. Not sure. It's really hard to say, actually. But Fatal Hold on the Medusa here feels really good. I'm really glad I've got it now. Makes this place even better than it was. Definitely overkilling it a tiny bit, though. So I don't think I'll be hunting here much longer. I do need the full bestiary entry, though, on Medusa. They'll need, yeah, another 850. Oh, dear. Are the monks a bit overtuned? Yeah. Early game, of course, they're overtuned. I think that was the idea. Hexalol, thank you for the prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Are you a monk? Yes. I took my vows of whatever vows monk take, and I became a monk. Yes. Did you not see the cosplay? Sorry, not a cosplay. Did you not see my monk outfit that I wear every day off stream when monk launched? And just to go back to, let's have a look at some more questions. Any clue how much mana is restored with Monk's party spell? Nope, sorry. Haven't cast it a single time. Do you feel monks are a bit overtuned? So yeah, I think they have a very strong early game, but I think that's by design because Tipsoft wants them to catch up to all the other vocations. And I think in general, just the idea behind monks is strong early game, but falls off with levels. So yeah, it feels overtuned because this is the only thing we have for monks so far, i.e. early game, which is where they're supposed to specialize, I think. You know, I think a year from now, we'll have like potentially a different opinion on the monks if, you know, people start reaching higher levels and it turns out he's not that strong. But yes, the early game, this level, like from level like 70 already, once you unlock your full rotation, the monk is crazy strong and much stronger than all the other vocations. But I do think that will stop being the case over time. What is the scaling problem with them? Well, it's just that they don't hit as many monsters later. You know, like they have this chained penance, which hits like 4 enemies. They have the flurry of blows, which realistically hits, you know, 6 enemies maybe. So they're going to run into the same issue as EKs sooner or later. You know, the EKs don't scale terribly well because they can't hit all that many monsters per turn. They're kind of limited to 8 monsters per turn. And the monk is kind of going to be in the same boat on a higher level, right? It's obviously slightly different, but it's the same idea. Oh, shit. Gazers into bursters into rippers into buried cathedral -8 is good route for EK EG duo. Yeah, I think so. That's a good solid duo. Probably the best. I don't really know what other places would be better than that. Yeah, well, yeah, Spectres are really good. Kind of boring though. Not gonna lie, hunting that just spectred for hundreds of levels. Yeah, I agree that my outfit is kind of bad for the monk. It's very very unmonk-like. I do apologize. That has been pointed out before, and I see the issue with it, but it is kind of my default outfit on all my characters. It's recognizable. I kind of like it because it's account bound from tournaments, which is kind of unique. So yeah, too bad, I guess. I guess I'm a monk who's cosplaying as a sword and shield wielder. Oh shit. I'd rather have high level monk compared to high level EK. Well, it definitely plays a bit more fun, I would say. We're doing really bad profit here, by the way. We're getting like no loot whatsoever. Normally the profit here is a lot better. Don't flinch when running red health. Calculated. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of I'm obviously kind of joking when I say it, but I'm also kind of not joking. I do have a lot of experience playing this game and knowing how much damage everything's gonna deal. And honestly, I really don't die very often when solo hunting. Like the only times I really die is when I like lose connection and stuff. It's very rare for me to just underestimate the damage or something and die. It doesn't happen too often. Of course, now that I said it, it's happening in like 5 minutes. But yeah, it's it's just experience, I guess. Knowing how much damage you're going to heal, leech, how much damage they're likely to deal. Of course, if everything doesn't work out in your way and you just get a few bad luck rolls, right? You deal barely any damage for a few turns in a row, so you're not leeching. Your healing spells roll the low range and you're healing very little, and the monsters you're hunting roll, high ranges for the damage they're going to deal, right? That of course can happen, and you just die because you just had that bad luck. But generally speaking, it shouldn't happen too often if you know what you're hunting. You haven't died yet on monk? No, I haven't. I was very close at one point. I've had a few low health screenshots. I think I've had about 3 to 4 low health screenshots, and one of them was on 6 health at Asura Palace, while about 6 Asuras were hitting me. So yeah, it's been close. That was an example of a place where I definitely could have died, but luck was on my side. Because that I can't claim calculated on a 6 health screenshot while being hit by 6 Asuras. That was not calculated. That was lucky. Do you think monk high level will be more profitable than pally high level? Hard to say. I actually don't know. I do think that the monk will be an excellent profit farming vocation. If it's going to be better than a high level paladin, I don't think so, just because of how much paladin can bloody kill and how well it scales. But I think we're gonna have to see. I wouldn't say definitely not. I think it may be, but it's just going to be hard to match the paladin's power. I think it might be similar though, hopefully. Yeah, also define high level, I guess. When I talk about high level, I'm definitely talking 1k or higher. I think 1k paladin is kind of too strong to match, at least in the current iteration. Maybe they're going to get nerfed, I don't know. But yeah, when I talk high level, I mean like 1000 plus. When I'm talking mid level, I mean like 500 to 1000, and low level is like anything below 500, I'd say. Those are like my ranges. in modern Tibia. We'll finish this lap, and then we're gonna go back. Just a short hunt. But it's cool. It's a cool little hunt here. I actually really like Medusa Tower on the monk. It's really quite nice, quite a nice hunt. I think it's probably the best one for tasks. Draken Wall is obviously still good for tasks. Benuta, I've been enjoying Benuta as well. But Benuta is a little bit more awkward with the monsters running away and stuff. There's only 2 here, while there's obviously 3 on Benuta. And also Benuta's way more open. Whereas here, there's a lot less room for the monsters to actually run. So if you want to do points, then this is the place. Ginger Wall, how come the Serene State doesn't disappear? Because I'm assuming you're watching the stream, Ginger Wall, so I'm just going to answer here. It's because the Serene State. It's funny. It's funny that you're level 185 monk and you still you don't know that. But the Serene State is for team hunting and team hunting only. So the reason why Serene State was introduced, okay, so for everybody, yeah, the Serene State, this is how you should think about Serene State. The only reason Serene State was introduced into the game was to prevent the monk from being the designated blocker in team hunts. That's it. That's the only reason. And when you think about it that way, it becomes a little bit more clear what the conditions are for it being active or not. You have to be in the party, and you have to have 6 or more monsters on you. That's it. So when you're solo hunting, it's literally Serene State is just the default always. You don't really worry about it. And you're always serene. And when you're team hunting, then it only exists to prevent the monk from being the blocker, which is why there's this limit on creatures that it can have. That's it. That was the whole purpose of the Serene State. And yeah, I guess Ginger, well, I meant more from the perspective that, you know, if you're level 185 already, then obviously you care quite a bit about the monk and the release. So I would assume everybody who plays that much actually like bothered to like read the patch notes and the wikis and stuff. But that's fine. That's fine if you haven't. Loads and loads of people had this problem when it was announced, thinking that, you know, the monk will only be hunting wall boxing when solo hunting, because they failed to understand that the condition on the Serene State is an and, like a mathematical and. So it needs to be both in a party and have over 5 monsters on them. Like both of those need to be true at the same time for the Serene State to drop. So if you're not in team hunt, you will never ever drop the Serene State. Anyway, that was a really long-winded answer to that question. I apologize. But yeah, loads of people were confused about this. People were like under the assumption that it's an or mathematical like or statement, so one or the other. So if you're like surrounded by 6 monsters, you by default lose the Serene State. But no, that's not the case. Hello, SpongeBob. Hi, I'm just heading to town. My wife is going to be back with the kids in like 3-4 minutes. So I'm just going to do some few rapid fire questions. So if you've got any questions, hit me. I'll answer as many as I can, but then we're going to have to drop in like 3-4 minutes. Oh, and we finished the Medusa task, so I may as well go and hand that in while we're here. What is Serene State? EK job security. That's fair. That is fair. That is basically what it is. Yeah, it's not an or, it's an and, yeah. Both of those need to be active. Do you believe that you will become mid-level on this monk or even high level? You you know what? I don't know. Like, it depends how many viable fun respawns the monk truly has. And currently, I feel like there is quite a few. But if I'm ever at a point in the game where for the next 300 levels, say from like 700 to 1,000, I have to be hunting the same respawn because it's so much better than everything else, that's probably when I drop playing this monk like all the time. I need to have variety in my Tibia gameplay, or I just can't face it. Okay, I cannot face hunting the same spot for 3 hours every day for like months on end. I can't do it. I really can't, and I don't want to. So if I'm ever looking at that, that's when I would consider just not playing anymore this vocation, or playing like a lower level monk on like a new server or something, just still to like make some content and stuff because I have fun playing this. But yeah, that would be when I would be thinking like, oh god, I can't be bothered to play anymore. Monks couldn't use the taunt short range. Yeah. Indeed, yeah, you can only use the etc range, ranged etc, like not to the monsters near you. But they kind of solved that by making the cooldown half the duration. So if you casting it, you know, sort of off cooldown, you will still should be able to catch even the melee ones as soon as they start walking away, kind of. Hello, Vord. Hello. You've just caught me right at the end. What's that screenshot? Summer court. Let's have a look. Is that a monk? No, that's an EK. 4.5 KK raw on a 340. Is there some background to this, Vord, or did you just drop in to share that? Hello. Hunting summer court deeper Venuta over and over because it's all reliable does get old. Yep, exactly. I love, by the way, my favorite update in the whole game, no joke, is Bestiary. I love Bestiary update, and that has given me so many hours of enjoyment in the game, just because it gives me something else to do that is not just mindless repetitive EXP grind. I love Bestiary, and I will die on that hill. I don't think it's much of a hill. I don't think too many people necessarily disagree, but it's by far my favorite addition to Tibia that's given me more and more replayability to the game, and I love it. I think, you know, I need to have a goal in Tibia, or like just going for something that is not just leveling. How much EXP raw can you make as EK in Savvy Crypts like Max? I think you can push 7kk raw there, but you will need to be dipping into the Acolytes and Burning Gladiators south in the south room. I think it's around 7kk raw that it max out at the moment. But it's, you know, that's high level play. I know you don't play for profit, but how much gold do you usually profit every month? I have no data on that, Pepe. I don't really, like, before Monk, I barely really played much Tibia anyway. I was making like guides and that was about it. I wasn't really playing much otherwise. I mean, if we can reverse engineer it, right? Like at the moment, unless I'm hunting something stupid like Grim Reapers with like no profit, I expect the Monk is about 5 to 600k profit per hour already at this level. 3 hours a day, that's 1.5kk profit per day. Multiply that by 30 days, we're probably able to make 45 to 50kk in profit on this level Monk a month if you're not just hunting like waste spots, right? Give or take. I think that's about accurate. I really have to drop, so a couple more questions then. Let's see. Do summons normally enter protection zone? Monk summon is broken, I guess. Really? Let's have a try. It should. He's coming. What are you talking about, Leszek? What are you talking about? Fake news. He's following me into protection zone. He's following me. Oh yeah, the big ones. Yeah. And he is talking about the monk summon, and it is here. It's an elephant, I think. It is a silly one. Anyway, all right, I really do have to drop. Open for some raid suggestions from you guys. I'm gonna have a quick look if anyone I particularly like is streaming at the moment. Ooh, Viklund is streaming. Let's have a look if he's hunting. He seems to be doing quests. I don't know if I'm going to raid someone doing quests. K-Risa streaming. What's K-Risa up to? I got hit with an ad, so I don't know what she's up to. Hello, Kusnier. There's a better place for Monk, EXP level 130 than Lava Lurkers. I'm doing 2.1 KK raw. Your other alternative is Barkless. Barkless is pretty much okay, but it's much harder. And then Grim Reaper is around 150. So I think Lurkers until 150. And then I would say Barkless from 150. Gal? I suppose we could raid Gal. He doesn't, I don't know. Doesn't play Monk. Is he streaming? I guess he must be streaming. Pyotrek? Is Pyotrek streaming some Monk? Maybe Pyotrek. Oh no, he's streaming some OTS. Never mind. Hiwek, what's Hiwek up to? Hiwek's doing some interesting hunt. Maybe we'll raid Hiwek. So yeah. Any other suggestions? No. Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna raid Hiwek. He's a Polish streamer. Really nice guy, actually. Quite a unique stream with like unique effects and OBS setup. I quite like watching him. I think he's a good dude. You can drop in and say hello. And yeah, I don't know when my next stream is going to be. Maybe at some point tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. So thanks for watching, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you next time. And say hello to Hiwek from me. Bye bye.